All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. The Niners passing game is, really highly rated. I think only second best in the NFL, but a lot of people don't like what they're getting out of Brock Purdy and these receivers. Who is actually to blame? We'll hit that coming up next. First, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. Go check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Go say hi to Damon. Go say hi to Mary. Get some brisket. Get some brisket chili. Tell them the Krug sent you. And this video also brought to you by Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, on the Monterey Peninsula. Call my good buddy Anthony Catania. He's at 831-521-5264 for all your sports cards and collectibles needs. Anthony was just at Niners Cardinals this weekend. All right. Wasn't a great game to come to, obviously, because it was hot as heck and the Niners lost. But nonetheless, we're glad that Anthony could check it out. Let's talk a little bit about the 49ers. Brock Purdy didn't have one of his better games. He had a couple turnovers. He held the ball too long. He's trying to run around and make plays. And a lot of people are just like, stop doing that. The bottom line is, if he could take his drop, survey the field, and quickly find a receiver open, he wouldn't hold the ball. He wouldn't run around. He wouldn't try to extend plays. He would deliver the ball on time. We've seen Brock Purdy in college. We've seen Brock Purdy in the pros. The ball comes out on time and with accuracy. He processes what he sees at the line of scrimmage, pre-snap, post-snap. He's very accurate with the football. He's on time. And he's tough. He'll stand in against the run. So stand in against the rush, I should say. So let's hear from Brian Baldinger. We'll hear from Brian Baldinger and then Emmanuel Acho, and then we'll have a couple thoughts. Here's Baldy, and Baldy is just asking, he's asking the question, what do you want Purdy to do? What do you want Purdy to do? He can't lift up the offense all by himself. Here is Baldy on Brock Purdy from Sunday.
Let's play a game, okay? Let's call it, what should Brock do? All right, let's watch this play right here. Like right now, little fake right here, and Brock right here is ready to throw. Now, nobody's open anywhere, all right? He's looking right. So he steps up. Nobody's open. Nobody's separating. So now Brock's got to do something, and he ends up scrambling for a couple yards. At least he didn't lose yards. All right, here we go. Now, next series. Deep, like here it is. Like right here, Brock is ready to throw, and he throws Ayuk open. Nice job at the top of his route to separate. And then he gets busy. Now, here they go. Here comes the Cardinals. They're emptying the bucket right here. What should Brock do? He's ready to throw. He knows the blitz is coming. Does anybody else know the blitz is coming? He's got to make a decision. What should Brock do? All right, let's buy some time. All right, is anybody going to get open here? Anybody? Anybody going to separate? That'll look good. All right, here we go. Now you get this. All right, here we go. Red zone. The only red zone score they had all day. 1 for 6. But fortunately, Kittle saw it the same way that Purdy saw it. We used to call this just the old tight end pop pass. Bam. Like Jalen Thompson backs up, he gives it up. All right? They got success there. Then watch this right here. You want to watch Ayuk and why he's dangerous and why he's getting on right now? Like right here, Brock sets his feet and he's throwing it. Now watch Ayuk right here. All right? The defensive back, Sean Murphy punting it. Murphy Bunting is right there. Watch him from the top of his ability to separate at the top of his route separates him. All right, now here we go. Total control of the game, right? Total control of the game, top of the third quarter. All right, Purdy steps up. What should he do? Well, he sees Kittle open. All right, Lopez gets a hand in the air, bam. Cardinals are diving for it. All right, there's Mac Wilson, interception. What should Brock Purdy do? Like sometimes you just have to ask in this game, like where was the open receiver if he wasn't throwing Ayuk open?
So there you go. There's Baldy's perspective on it. And, you can tell, we don't have Baldy here to interview, but if you ask Baldy, hey, is the problems with the 49er offense that the Niners offensive line is not standing up and Brock doesn't have enough time to throw? Or is Brock not making the right decisions? Is Brock not accurate with the football? Or is nobody open and Brock's not, none of his receivers have separation. And so he's forced to either throw the ball up 50-50 style and hope his guy comes down with it, or move around, try to extend plays, and try to make a play. And I think you all know the answer, is that when your receivers are not getting separation, you can only throw so many 50-50 balls in a game. Nobody bats 1,000. So you throw, 10 50-50 balls over the course of a game instead of 3, your chances of winding up with a couple picks are way higher than if you just throw, 3 or 4 50-50 balls. And that's what happens when your receivers aren't getting separation, is that so many more of your passes become of that 50-50 variety where it's kind of anybody's ball, where you're just putting the ball out there hoping that your receiver will go get it for you. So you heard Baldy there. Baldy knows his ball. And Baldy wouldn't put that on film unless he really believed that that was representative of what this game, the themes of this Cardinal game really were. So what should Brock Purdy do? Brock Purdy the only real mistake that he made there is you could see that he peeked at Kittle before he actually threw the pass to Kittle. And then that allowed the defense to break on the ball. Other than that, he's got to be a little bit more disciplined with his eyes, maybe a little bit more decisive in his movements. But Brock's playing his ass off, man. Brock's playing well. The ball's coming out on time. It's coming out with accuracy. He's running around. He's making plays. Yeah, are there going to be a couple negative plays? Yeah. But you go in that room and talk to those guys, offensive players, defensive players, coaches, anybody around the Niners, they'll tell you, hey, Brock Purdy, they have total belief in Brock Purdy. All right, let's hear from Emmanuel Acho. Acho is one of my other favorites. One of the twin brothers, Emmanuel and Sam Acho, played for the Texas Longhorns in college. And Emmanuel Acho is now on FS1. And I think he's fantastic. He's a super smart guy. And he talks about, the 49er receivers. And this is also his theme, separation. So let's hear from Acho, and we'll comment on his video next.
Get out of your break, man.
Nobody getting open.
Drop down, get out of your break.
Locked up, won't let him out. Ayuk had a nice little day. Locked up, won't let him out. Just nobody getting open. Cause I've been locked up.
And then this just a standstill, right? Ain't a lot of motion.
Oh my God.
All right, so maybe a little bit less scientific breakdown there from Acho, but the truth is the truth. And he just showed you sideline wide of, a couple plays, and you saw what Brock is seeing and what those receivers are seeing when they watch that film again, which is that they don't separate. If we go back to look at that was Kittle and Juice and Ayuk and Debo, and nobody separated. Nobody separated. The one guy who looked like he got a little separation was going to the corner, but the safety had over the top coverage and was headed there as well. So he had, they had kind of a front and behind, a high-low concept type thing, but it was, as far as a defender, they had him kind of bracketed. They had the guy in front. If the ball came in front, they had the safety, for the corner, and he was moving towards the corner. So that wasn't open, and that was going to be a challenging throw if Brock had dotted in there at the pylon in the back corner. So you heard it from Baldy. The Niners are, what's Purdy supposed to do? He's under the gun, he's under pressure, and there's not a lot of receivers shaking free. Then Acho takes a couple plays and is like, hey, look what I see. Nobody's open. Oh, and by the way, let's take a look at one stat that Kev dug up off NFL.com. 49ers receivers this year have an average of 2.8 yards of separation per target. Where does that rank in the NFL? 2.8 yards of separation per target. That's the worst separation per target number in the entire league. So what Baldy is telling you, what Acho is telling you, is then backed up by what the stats say, which are that the 49er receivers on average are getting 2.8 yards of separation per target, worst in the NFL. What's the solution? I'm a solution guy. I can only talk about problems for so long before I start offering solutions. They're too slow. They don't have a wide receiver core that complements one another. Debo's slow, but JJ's slow. But Kittle's actually very fast for a tight end. He ran 4.5 coming out, but he's 30, so he doesn't have the same speed he had coming out of Iowa. Ayuk is not slow, but not a burner. Where's the go pattern guy? Where's the Xavier Worthy? Where's the guy who runs off the defense? Where's the guy who takes the top off the defense? Where's the guy who creates all the space for everybody underneath? Jacob Cowing could be that guy, but he took one hit to his shoulder and he's hurt. So that's not going to work. Maybe Ricky Pearsall can be that guy, though Ricky's a 4.4 guy, not a 4.3 guy. So is his strength really that he runs by people? No. But you know what? Ricky could really help in the red zone because he can get himself open in a very short area, and he's very reliable. We saw it in minicamp. Him and Brock working together, it could become a very prolific combination. So Ricky's going to help. And I think Cowing will help when he gets healthy. Right now, the only receiver that they have in the building that can run, that they could actually put out there today, is Terrace Marshall. He's on the practice squad. I would love to see Terrace Marshall on the active roster. Why? Because I look at Ronnie Bell as a good hands player, good route runner, but that's redundant. That's what JJ is. To a degree, that's what Ayuk is. Ball skills, hands. You need to have somebody who can run off the coverage. You got to have somebody who complements the receivers you have. You don't have CMC. He's a speedy threat. You don't have Cowing healthy. You don't have Pearsall ready. But you got Terrace Marshall, who runs 4.37, who's 24 years old and has NFL experience. I'm not saying he's Tyreek Hill, but all he's got to do to get on the field is be better than Ronnie Bell. And I think he is better than Ronnie Bell. So that would be my solution in the short term. And then long term, the 49ers have to add some speed to this roster. I think they need to add some speed at linebacker. They need to add some speed at wide receiver. They need to add some speed at backup tight end. They need to add some speed at running back. They need to add some speed. They added some speed on the back end in Renardo Green. I thought that was a good thing. They've added some speed at different spots, but they need to add more speed. They look relatively slow, and they're not gaining separation. And Baldy told you the truth. Acho basically confirmed it, and I just gave you the stat that Kev gave me. 2.8 yards of average separation per target for Niner receivers this year. That is the worst in the NFL. So you can do the exact same thing next week that you did the previous 5 weeks and get the same results, or you can switch it up a little bit and switch out some of the personnel and put some faster people on the field. We'll see. It's their move, and it'll be very interesting to see what they do with it. All right, thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. Thanks to Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles in Pacific Grove for sponsoring this video. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.